Hey folks, welcome to my video, Foolish Liberals. And before we get started, I wanted to quote a Bible verse. It's Ephesians 5:11, and it says, "Have nothing to do with the unfruitful deeds of evil and darkness, but rather expose them." And in the spirit of that verse, I wanted to get on with the three quick stories I have here and show you it's related because at this point, I think liberalism in the United States and around the world is evil. I agree there's evil in both parties. I don't buy into the false left-right paradigm, but as far as I'm concerned right now, in the left, especially in the entertainment industry, we have just evil abounding. And the first story here, and I'll try to get through these really quick. It should just take a few minutes. We have Kathy Griffin, and this is Kathy Griffin of infamy, where she was holding the Donald Trump, the bloody mock, or the mock bloody Donald Trump head. And she's saying here, we have an administration that is quite pro-Nazi. Oh, and before I continue, I want to point out that a griffin isn't a griffin those little like hybrid looking animals with small little animals with wings that people put on like each side of their driveway or on the corner of their house that prevents evil spirits from getting near, or supposedly prevents evil spirits. I thought of that right before I started the video, and it's kind of funny because this lady with the last name Griffin, I don't think she's warding off any evil spirits, that's for sure. So anyway, Kathy Griffin is a little bit bitter here because she's referencing Nazi to the question that was posed to her about Roseanne, if Roseanne should get her show back. And her answer was no. And I'm not going to say the F word like she did, but no, F her. She's an effing Nazi. She said, I know that sounds crazy, but basically she's saying we have an administration that is quite pro-Nazi. They led the march, whatever that means. They think there are good ones and bad ones. There are no good ones. And this is her bitterness in here. Down here, oh, here it says she's 57 years old. Wow. She looks a little older than that. Here she says, I have no sympathy for her, meaning Roseanne, and I have no empathy for her because she had every opportunity that I didn't. Well, maybe she was a better comic than you, Kathy Griffin. And she goes on to say, and I would have killed to have a real network behind me. I would have killed to have some of the best writers in television, and I would have not effed that up by being a Nazi. Well, Kathy Griffin's bitter, and I think that it's funny because here she is getting her last bastion of fame off the back of Donald Trump, a guy she supposedly despises. So to me, this is ridiculous because people should recognize that if it wasn't for Donald Trump, she probably would be completely ignored by everybody by now. Okay, so the next thing we have here is comedian George Lopez selling "Keep the Kids, Deport the Racist" jackets. Looks like this is fake news right away since it says comedian George Lopez. He's a, well, I guess he tries to be a comedian. That's my point. But this is interesting because here's a guy that's selling jackets, again, kind of like Kathy Griffin, who's keeping herself in the news because of Trump. Here's a guy that, and we really don't even know what this guy's politics are. We really don't. I mean, he's just doing what we know the entertainment industry wants him to do, and he's been insignificant for a few years now. And now the guy, literally off the back of Donald Trump, is selling jackets. Also, down here it says it gives the price of his t-shirts he's selling for around 20 bucks. Jackets are around $100. So it looks like he's got a whole clothing line going with "Keep the Kids and Deport the Racist" written on them. So the guy is taking advantage of these so-called, he doesn't care about the kids. He's making money off the fact that this is a supposed issue, despite the fact that Donald Trump did sign an executive order to keep the parents and the kids together. But of course, that's all ignored. He's going to make a clothing line and make money off of it. Wow. What a scumbag. Okay, and the last thing I have here, late night hosts rip Sarah Sanders. This was for the Red Hen thing, and I thought Sarah Sanders handled it pretty well by saying I politely left the Red Hen, the restaurant that booted her out. So these guys, Trevor Noah, who I didn't even know until yesterday, he does the Daily Show. Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, and the weak Jimmy Fallon, the weak wimpy Jimmy Fallon. They all just ganged up on, the opportunity to make jokes about Sarah Sanders on the following night. But this isn't really exactly what was said, but Trevor Noah, I'll only show his. In his little piece, he says here, "Be grateful your chefs didn't ejaculate in your food." Well, he used the word jizz instead of ejaculate. And I'll show you that right here. And I think it's just bad. I mean, this is television. I know it's late, but I'm sure parents tape it, watch it the next day, and kids watch it. And this is what he had to say. And we'll close out the video with this. And I don't even need any commentary on this. You'll hear what he says, and it's just absolutely pathetic.
And that's our position. That's it. When you think about it, asking Sanders to leave was probably the nicest thing they could have done. The waiter was probably like, "Listen, if I'm being honest, all the chefs are jizzing in your food right now. So..."
This, yeah, like I said, I don't need to say anything about this. This is just absolutely horrific. Okay? Thank you for watching, and I am out.